Well, yeah, hello and how are you? Hey, friends, welcome to the Shen Show. I am your host, Shenandoah Briscoe, coming to you live right here in St. Charles, Missouri. Hey, today's Saturday, January the 13th, 2023. Got happy birthday shout outs going out to Mitch Sander. So, without further ado, hey, Mitch. Hey, I heard it's your birthday today. Wow, that's another year gone away. I hope you're enjoying your special day because, well, it's your happy birthday day today. I said, hey, Mitch. Hey, I heard it's your birthday today. Why, that's another trip around the sun that you made. I hope you're enjoying your special day because, well, it's your happy birthday day today. Did you say it's your happy birthday day today? Got some special Shin Show fan shout outs going out to Darla Gilmore Teply and Diana Gray. And my Pokey pals, special return posts for you right now, Amanda Sue Little and Julie Rigot. All right, we're going to jump right on into the weather forecast for the St. Charles viewing area. That's right, weather. It's cold. That's what it is. Cold. Ba, 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 ba. Cold, cold, cold. Chilly Willy. It's so chilly, Willy. It's so cold. Periods of snow with high temperatures around 19 degrees today. 19, that's it. Winds are going to be west to northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Chances of snow 70%. Snow accumulation less than an inch. Bitterly cold tonight. Some clouds forming, but low temperatures at negative 6 degrees. That's right, negative 6 degrees. Winds are going to be west to northwest at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Boy, you can hear them gusting up alongside the house here. I've got these screens that make that wind howl. Certainly is cold and chilly in my house. Don't know why. Just the vent pipes won't stay warm. And so half the time that the furnace is blowing, it's blowing cold air. Anyway, Sunday, tomorrow, uh, January the 14th, partly cloudy skies during the morning hours, and then we'll be becoming overcast in the afternoon. High temperatures of 6 degrees Fahrenheit, with winds west to northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Bitterly cold out there, folks. Be careful. Make sure that you've got plenty of blankets and coats and stuff inside your vehicles. So if you get stranded somewhere, you can stay warm. Cloudy skies early, then partly cloudy in the afternoon or after midnight. Sorry. Low temperatures of 1 degree Fahrenheit with northwest winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Then for Monday, January the 15th, partly cloudy skies during the morning hours will be becoming overcast in the afternoon. High temperatures of 13 degrees Fahrenheit with winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Those of y'all that are living in trailers, make sure you've got your electric water tape on your water lines so you don't freeze up your water. Cold sky, cloudy skies overnight will become really cloudy later at night with low temperatures of 1 degree Fahrenheit. Winds west to northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Then for Tuesday, January the 16th, mostly sunny skies continue with very cold and high temperatures of 17 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be out of the west at 10 to 20 miles per hour and clear skies overnight with very cold temperatures of 9 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be west to southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Wednesday, January the 17th, sunny skies with high temperatures of 37 degrees Fahrenheit. A warm front coming through. Winds south to southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. How many people can call a 37-degree day a warm front? Well, we've got it, especially when they've been 19, 6, 13, and 17. 37 seems like a warm up. Cloudy skies overnight, low temperatures around 25 degrees Fahrenheit. Even the nighttime temperature is higher than the daytime temperatures. Cloudy skies. And winds out of the south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then 36 degrees on Thursday, January the 18th. More clouds than sunshine. High temperatures of 36 degrees Fahrenheit with winds west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mostly cloudy skies overnight. Low temperatures of 13 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. That's your 5-day forecast for the St. Charles viewing area. Brr. Howdy. I can't even hardly read the temperature. I can't even hardly read the weather without freezing to death. It's the cold outside. Bitter, bitter, bitter. It's cold outside. Bitter, bitter, bitter. I can't help but feel the cold. Speaking of cold, I'm going to back over here and turn my heater on, folks. Bear with me. Give me a second. I'll be right with you. I know you can see me. I could be singing while I'm doing it. Turn on that heater. And Bob, hippity, 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 hip. I'll be warm here fairly shortly. Because right now, I'm too cold. Too cold. There we go. We got heat flowing now. It'll be warm for me somehow. Just as long as it don't cook my butt. Don't want it to cook up my butt. All right. Let's sing song. Let's do. Scoot doo ba da ba doo doo day. Skiddly doo ba ba. Skiddly doo doo doo. Scoot da doo da doo da day. I said, why? Joke Momo speaking down. Let's see. Song lyrics: Big Rock Candy Mountain. Song lyrics: Big Rock Candy Mountain. One evening, as the sun went down and the jungle fire was burning, down the tracks came a hobo hiking, and he said, "Boys, I'm hot, not turning. I'm headed for a land that's far away, beside the crystal fountains. Some come with me, we'll go and see the Big Rock Candy Mountains. With the Big Rock Candy Mountains, there's a land that's far and bright, with where the hobos grow, yon the handouts grow on bushes, and you sleep out every night, where the boxcars all are empty, and the sun shines every day on the birds and the bees and the cigarette trees, lemon drops, spring or lemonade streams, where the babbling bluebirds sing in the Big Rock Candy Mountains. In the Big Rock Candy Mountains, all the cops have wooden legs, and the bulldogs have rubber teeth, and the hens lay soft-boiled eggs. Well, the farmers trees are full of fruit, and the memes are full of hay. All I'm bound to go where there ain't no snow, where the rain don't fall and the wind don't blow, in the big rock candy mountains. In the big rock candy mountains, you never change your socks, and the little streams of alcohol come trickling through the rocks. Well, the brakemen have to tip their hats, and the railroad bulls are blind. There's a lake of stew and whiskey too. You can paddle around in a big canoe in the big rock candy mountains. In the big rock candy mountains, jails are made of tin, and you can walk right out again as soon as you are in. There ain't no short-handled shovels, no axes, saws, nor picks. I'm going to stay where you sleep all day, where they hung that church that invented work in the big rock candy mountains. I'll see you all this coming fall in the big rock candy mountains. Well, there you go. Hello, you're on the show.
I've already been found.
Are you Swiffering today?
Mine.
That's what I thought you were doing just now. Swiffering.
I've been cleaning all day. Got the car cleaned up and cleaned out for the most part.
Oh, there you go.
Put a bunch of stuff from the room into my car.
Ah. Let's see where we at here. There's something else. Another song I wanted to sing. Oh, it was called let's see, how do I find it? The song lyrics. Uh, Soundtrack for Oh Brother Where Art Thou? Do do ba 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 da 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 do 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 You got to go that lonesome valley. You got to go there by yourself. Nobody else can go there for you. You got to go there by yourself. Oh, you got to ask the Lord's forgiveness. Nobody else can ask Him for you. You got to go to that lonesome valley. You got to go there by yourself. Nobody else can go there for you. You got to go there by yourself. Oh, you got to know when to hold, know when to fold, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never got your money. I been sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting when dealing's done. Song lyrics, The Gambler. Well, on a warm summer evening, on a train bound for nowhere, I met up with the gambler. We were both too tired to sleep, so we took turns of staring out the window at the darkness. The boredom overtook us, and he began to speak. He said, "Son, I've made a life out of reading people's faces, knowing what their cards were by the way they held their eyes. So if you don't mind me saying, I can see you're out of aces. For a taste of your whiskey, I'll give you some advice." So I handed him a bottle, and he drank down my last swallow. And then he bummed a cigarette and asked me for a light. And then the night got deathly quiet, and his face lost all expression. He said, "If you're gonna play the game, boy, you gotta learn to play it right. You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting when the deed is done. Well, every gambler knows that a secret to survive is knowing what to throw away, knowing what to keep. 'Cause every hand's a winner, and every hand's a loser. And the best thing you can hope for is to die in your sleep. And when he'd finished speaking, he turned back to the window, crashed out his cigarette, and faded off to sleep. And then somewhere in the darkness, the gambler, he broke even. But in his final words, I found an ace that I could keep. You've got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, and know when to run. And you never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough to count when dealing's done. You've got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You'll never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting when dealing's done. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. Why, there you go. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Well, everyone considered him the coward of the county. Never stood one single time to prove the county wrong. His mama named it Tommy, but folks just called him Yellow. But something always told me they were reading Tommy wrong. But he was only 10 years old when his daddy died in prison. I looked after Tommy because he was my brother's son. I still recall that final words my brother said to Tommy. "Son, my life is over, but yours has just begun. Promise me, son, not to do the things I've done. Walk away from trouble when you can. Now it won't mean you're weak if you turn the other cheek. I hope you're old enough to understand. Son, you don't have to fight to be a man. Well, there's someone for everyone. And Tommy's love was Becky. In her arms, he didn't have to prove that he was a man. And one day while he was working, the Gatlin boys came calling. They took turns at Becky, and there was three of them. Now Tommy opened up the door, and he saw Becky crying. The torn dress, the shattered look was more than he could stand. Now he reached above the fireplace and he took down his daddy's picture, and his eyes tears filled it, and his tears fell on his daddy's face. And he heard these words again. Say, promise me, son, not to do the things I've done. Walk away from trouble if you can. Now it won't mean you're weak if you turn the other cheek. I hope you're old enough to understand. Son, you don't have to fight to be a man. Well, the Gatlin boys just laughed at him when he walked into the barroom. One of them got up and met him halfway across the floor. When Tommy turned around, they said, "Hey, look, old Yeller's leaving." But you could have heard a pin drop when Tommy stopped and locked the door. 20 years of problem was bottled up inside him. He wasn't holding nothing back. He let him have it all. He said, "This one's for..." Oh, when Tommy left that bar room, not a Gatlin boy was standing. He said, "This one is for Becky," as he watched the last one fall. And I heard him say, "I promised you, Dad, not to do the things you'd done. I walked away from trouble when I can. Now, please don't think me weak. I didn't turn the other cheek. And, Papa, I should hope you understand. Sometimes you've got to fight when you're a man." Everyone considered him the coward of the county. All right, that's enough swinging. We're gonna we're gonna go ahead and do story time with TV Grandpa. That's right, story time with TV Grandpa. Really? Well, it's not gonna be Piddle Eggs. And it's not gonna be the Boogie Beast. They whip and dabble, fo. Ricky Ticky Tacky. Think that's what we're gonna do. Hey kids, it's time for TV Grandpa. And so I'm gonna say, jump up on the couch or jump up on the bed. Wherever it is you rest your sleepy little head. TV Grandpa is about to lull you off to sleep with another little tidbit of a story. Today is Ricky Ticky Tacky at the hole where he went in, red-eyed, called a winky, wrinkled skin. Hear what little red eye saith. Nag, come up and dance with death, eye to eye and head to head. Keep the measure, nag, and this shall end when one is dead. And as they pleasure, nag, torn, turn for turn, and twist for twist, run and hide for thee, and aha, the hood of death has missed, and woe be the nag. This is the story of the great war that Ricky Tikki Tavi forgot. He fought single handed through the bathroom of the big bungalow in Sagui, Panama. Derez. The tailor bird helped him, and Chunadra, the muskrat, who never comes out into the middle of the floor, but always creeps round by the wall, gave him advice. But Ricky Tikki Tavi did not, or did the real fighting. He was a mongoose, rather like a little cat in his fur and his tail, but quite like a weasel in his head and his habits. His eyes and the ends of his restless nose were pink. He could scratch himself anywhere he pleased, at any with any leg, front or back, that he chose to use. He could fluff up his tail like to make it look like a bottle brush, and his or dry as he scuttled through the long grass was rickety-tack, rickety-tack. One day, a high summer flood washed him out of the burrows where he lived with his father and mother, and carried him, kicking and chuckling, down a roadside ditch. He found a little wisp of grass floating there, and he clung to it till he lost his senses. When he revived, he was lying in the hot sun on the middle of a garden path, very dragged indeed, and a small boy was saying, "Here's a dead mongoose. Let us have a funeral." "No," said his mother, "let's take him in and dry him. Perhaps he isn't really dead." And so they took him into the house, and a big man picked him up between his fingers and thumb and said that he was not dead, but half choked. And so they wrapped him in a cotton wool, and they warmed him over a little fire, and he opened his eyes and he sneezed. "Now," said the big man, he was an Englishman who had just moved into the bungalow. "Don't fight, don't frighten him, and we'll see what he'll do." It is the hardest thing in the world to frighten a mongoose, because he is eaten up from noise. Oh, he is eaten up from nose to tail with curiosity. And the motto of all the mongoose family is "run and find out." And Ricky Ticky was a true mongoose. He looked at the cotton wool, decided that it was not good to eat, ran all around the table, sat up, and put his fur in order, scratched himself, and jumped on the small boy's shoulder. "Don't be frightened, Teddy," said his father. That is why. That is his way of making friends. "Ouch, he's tickling under my chin," said Teddy. Ricky looked down between the boy's collar and neck, snuffed at his ear, and climbed down to the floor, where he sat rubbing his nose. "Goodness gracious," said Teddy's mother, "and that's a wild creature. I suppose he's so tame because we've been kind to him." "All the mongooses are alike," said her husband. "If Teddy doesn't pick him up by the tail, or try to put him in a cage, he'll run in and out of the house all day long. Let's give him something to eat." And they gave him a little piece of raw meat. Ricky Ticky liked it immensely, and when it was finished, he went out into the veranda, and he sat in the sunshine, and he fluffed up his fur to make it all dry to the roots, and then he felt better. And there are more things to find out about in the house, he said to himself. And then all of my family could find out in all their lives. and I shall certainly stay and find out. So he spent all day the next day roaming through the house, and he nearly drowned himself in the bathtubs. But his nose, he put his nose into the ink on a writing table and burned his eye, or burned it on the end of the big man's cigar. He, for he climbed up to the big man's lap to see how writing was done. At nightfall, he ran into Teddy's nursery to watch how kerosene lamps were lighted. And when Teddy went to bed, Ricky Ticky climbed up too. But he was restless. He was he was a restless companion because he had to get up and attend to every noise all through the night and find out what made it. Teddy's mother and father came in, and the last thing to look at their boy, and Ricky Ticky was awake on the pillow. I don't like that, said Teddy's mother. He may bite the child. He'll do no such thing, said the father. Teddy's safer with that little beast than if he had a bloodhound to watch over him. If a snake comes into the nursery now, but Teddy's mother wouldn't think of anything so awful early in the morning. And Ricky Ticky came to early breakfast in the veranda, riding on Teddy's shoulder, and they gave him a banana and some boiled egg. He sat on all their laps, one after the other, because every well brought up mongoose always hopes to be a house mongoose someday and have rooms to run about in, and Ricky Ticky was no exception. Now, Ricky Ticky's mother, she used to live in the garden or the general's house at Saltway. He, had she had carefully told Ricky what to do if he came across white men. Then Ricky Ticky went out into the garden to see what was to be seen. It was a large garden, only half cultivated, with bushes as big as summer houses of Marshall Nile roses, lime, and orange trees, clumps of bamboo, and thickets of high grass. Ricky Ticky licked his lips. This is a splendid hunting ground, he said, and his tail grew bottle brushy at the thought of it, and he scuttled up and down the garden, snuffing here and there, till he had very sorrowful voice in his thorn bush. I was Daisy, the tailbird, tailor bird, and his wife. They had made a beautiful nest by putting two big leaves together and stitching them up the edge with fibers, and had filled the hollow with cotton and downy fluff. And the nest swayed to and fro as they sat on the rim and cried. What is the matter? Asked Ricky Ticky. Why, where we are very miserable, said Jersey. One of our babies fell out of the nest yesterday, and Nag ate him. Him? Said Ricky Ticky. That is very sad, but I am a stranger here. Who is Nag? Desiree and his wife only cowered down in the nest without answering. for from the thick grass at the foot of the brush there came a low hiss, a horrid, cold sound that made Ricky Ticky jump back 2 clear feet. Then, inch by inch, out of the grass rose up the head and spread hood of Nag, the big black cobra, and he was 5 feet long, from tongue to tail. And when he had lifted 1/3 of himself clear to the ground, he stayed balancing and to and fro, exactly as dandelion tuft balances in the wind. And he looked at Ricky Ticky with the wicked snake's eyes that never changed their expression. Whatever the snake may be thinking of, who is Nag? He said, I am Nag, the great god Burma put his mark on, and all our people. And when the first cobras spread his hood to keep the sun off it, Brahms, as he slept, looked, and be afraid. He spread out his impossible, out his hood more than ever. Then Ricky Ticky saw the speckled marks on the back of it that looked exactly like the eyes part of a hook and an eye fastening, and he was afraid for a minute, but it is impossible for a mongoose to stay afraid or frightened for any length of time. And though Ricky Ticky had never met a live cobra before, his mother had fed him on dead ones, and he knew that fluff up again, marks of no marks or no marks. Do you think that it's right for you to eat fleetings out of a nest? Nag was thinking to himself and watching the least little movement in the grass behind Rikki Tikki. He knew that mongoose in the garden meant death sooner or later for him and his family. But he wanted to get Rikki Tikki off his guard, and so he dropped his head a little and put it on one side. Let us talk, he said. Your egg, you eat eggs. Why should not I eat birds? Behind you, look, behind you, said Jersey. Rikki Tikki knew better than to waste time in staring, and he jumped up in the air as high as he could, and just under him whizzed by the head of Nagana, Nag's wicked wife, and she had crept up behind him as he was talking to make an end of him. He was he heard her savage hiss as the stork missed, and he came down almost across her back. And if he had been an old mongoose, he would have known that then was the time to break her back in one bite. But he was afraid of the terrible lashing return strokes of the cobra that he bit indeed, but did not bite long enough, and he jumped clear of the whisking tail, leaving Nagra torn and angry. Wicked, wicked dares thee, said Nag, lashing up as high as he could, reach towards the nest in the thorn bush. But Darzee had built it out of reach of snakes, and it only swayed to and fro. Rikki Tikki felt his eyes growing red and hot, with which was when Mongoose's eyes grow red, he is angry, and he sat back on his tail and the hind legs like a little kangaroo and looked all around him and chattered with rage. But Nag and Nagrina had disappeared into the grass. When a snake misses its stroke, it never says anything or gives any sign of what it means to do next. Rikki Tikki did not have a chase or a care to follow them, for he did not feel sure that he could manage two snakes at once. Of natural history, you will find that when the mongoose fights the snakes and happens to get bitten, he runs off and eats some herbs and plants that cure them. So, Rikki Tikki ended up getting in one more fight with Nag when he came up out of the toilet in the bathroom while little Jimmy was sleeping, and Nag was fought by Rikki Tikki, and oh, what a fight it was! And he killed him. And then Nagira, she came, and he killed her, and that was the end of Rikki Tikki Tavi. All right, hey, looks like it's the Bible with Running Our Daily Read portion of the program, odb.org. Today's devotion in the odb.org will be Preserving in Jesus. Now, it's brought to you today by the Bible with Briscoe 2024, which is a daily reading of the Bible. Today's reading in the Bible with Briscoe 2024 will be Genesis 31 through 32 and Matthew 9:18 through 38. Okay, here we go. Persevering in Jesus. Persevering in Jesus. Hebrews 12:1 through 3. And so, here we go. What in the world? What is going on? And therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that is so easily entangles, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us. So there you go. Perseverance. Hebrews 12:1. All right, there we go. perseverance in Jesus. And that's the daily bread portion of the program, which brings us to the end of the Shen Show. And so, without further ado, later. Hey, I'll check you later, my friends. It's a time to go. I said goodbye, my friends. It's a time to go. I hate to leave you, but I really must go. So, goodbye, my friends. Goodbye. Goodbye, my friends. Goodbye. Have a blessed day. Check y'all later.